You briefly mentioned Kodai Senga, Joe. How do you think the Mets are going to handle him coming out of the break, and how that kind of has a trickle effect on not only the rotation, which we think will be a 6-man rotation, but how they utilize the bullpen going forward? Because we're starting to see some length. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but if Jose Butto kind of takes on the Seth Lugo 2-inning role, it changes your outlook on how this team can get through some games.
What it comes down to is Kodai Senga's on the verge of returning to this team, which I don't think we can understate the potential impact this has. Like, just he's been out of sight, out of mind. And I think often with sports fans, we kind of forget about people when they're out of sight, out of mind. I know I hear it on the prospect side about Jet Williams and Drew Gilbert, who have been out all year and trying to drop them down lists and things. But people, I don't know if they forget, but it feels like they forget that Kodai Senga was a Cy Young candidate last year. So it's not as if, they're getting back a potential back end starter. And, he can make a huge impact. And the 6-man rotation with him and Christian Scott, we talked to David Stearns about that when we had him on, a while back. It's going to be a benefit for those two pitchers specifically because Senga's comfortable with it. And Christian Scott has the kind of innings, I don't want to say limit, but they're going to be monitoring his innings throughout the rest of the season. And if you look at most starters throughout the league, most of them have better numbers on 5 days rest than 4 days rest. I think this is where the game is headed. And I think the Mets will be, a little ahead of the curve on this one, at least, for the remainder of the season. And then in the bullpen, they need Edwin Diaz to be not necessarily 2022 Edwin Diaz, but they need him to, get into form. I know he had the injury and then the suspension. So it's been a lot of start-stop with him. So hopefully the second half can lead to more consistency there. And Daniel Nunez has been fantastic. Like you mentioned, Jose Butto could be a multi-inning option. They need to get Jake Diekman to throw some strikes. I know he's been going through it. Adam Ottavino's been going through it. Reed Garrett is on the injured list. So the bullpen's going to be in flux as we head into the second half. I don't think it's a real clear picture. And 2 weeks from now, I think they'll add a couple arms. And, of course, Phil Maton was added recently from Tampa. So they've already done one external addition. And I think there's one or two more to come.